In the year 1792, in a small coastal village in Ireland, a boy named Declan O'Connor was born into the kind of poverty that could crush the strongest spirit. His family lived in a weathered stone cottage, perched on the edge of jagged cliffs that overlooked the roaring Atlantic. The cottage had no proper floor, no real warmth, and only the most meager meals. His father was a fisherman, returning from the sea, blackened with cold and exhaustion, while his mother scraped together whatever she could from washing, mending, and begging. From the day Declan could walk, hunger was his constant companion, and the biting wind seemed to mock him with every step. Declan's early childhood was harsh. He watched other children play with toys and shoes, while he went barefoot, wearing clothes patched so many times that they barely held together. School was a distant dream. There was no money for books, and teachers saw him as just another poor boy to ignore. Villagers often whispered, "He'll amount to nothing." But Declan had fire in his chest. Every night, as he huddled beneath a thin blanket beside the fireplace, he whispered, "I will rise. I will carve my own path. I will not be forgotten." By the age of 8, Declan was already learning the harsh truths of survival. He would help his father mend nets, carry fish to market, and fetch water from the freezing river. Often, he went hungry, while his father tried to feed his younger siblings first. Every day was a test. The cold, the hunger, the constant labor. And yet, Declan endured. He learned the first lesson of life. Suffering can either break you or forge you into someone stronger. He chose the latter. When Declan was 10, a terrible storm struck the coast. His father was swept into the sea, and despite the desperate cries and prayers, he did not return. Declan's mother, now broken by grief, could barely care for her children. Declan, though only a boy, became the head of the household. He took work wherever he could find it, mending nets, carrying supplies, running errands, and even helping unload cargo at the small docks. The work was grueling. His hands blistered, his back ached, and some nights he slept on the bare floor. But with every pang of hunger, every ache, he learned resilience. By 12, Declan had discovered an aptitude for the sea. He watched sailors navigate the waters, read the weather, and handle their vessels with skill. He memorized their movements, learned to recognize the tides and winds, and began taking small risks, rowing boats along the shoreline and assisting fishermen. Many warned him, "You're too young, you'll drown." But the sea, like life, was neither kind nor cruel. It demanded skill, courage, and discipline. Declan embraced it. By 14, he had become an exceptional sailor for his age. His reputation grew among the fishermen. They relied on him to steer boats, mend nets, and even brave rough waters to save stranded men or retrieve lost equipment. Yet life never let him rest. One summer, a disease swept through the village, taking the lives of many, including neighbors who had been like family to him. Declan went days without proper food, working tirelessly to care for his siblings and earn whatever he could to survive. His mind and body were tested beyond what most could endure. At 16, Declan decided he would no longer merely survive. He would seek to change his fate. With a small rowboat and the savings he had scraped together from years of work, he set off to the nearby port town, hoping to find work on larger vessels. The journey was perilous. The currents were strong, storms sudden, and the sea unforgiving. Several times, waves nearly capsized his boat. Yet he endured, refusing to turn back. On arrival, he found work as a deckhand on a merchant ship, earning barely enough to eat, but gaining invaluable experience. Those years on the ship were brutal. He endured harsh captains, long hours, and little food. Some sailors mocked him, Others tried to bully him. He learned quickly, however, that intelligence and discipline earned respect faster than brute strength. He studied navigation, learned how to read the stars, tides, and winds, and even assisted in maintaining the ship's log. Night after night, he studied maps and journals, imagining routes, distant lands, and opportunities that could lift him out of poverty. By 20, Declan had become an accomplished sailor, known for his skill and courage. He saved a merchant vessel from running aground during a violent storm, earning recognition and the trust of the ship's captain. The captain offered him a position on larger ships and the chance to take on more responsibility. Declan accepted, understanding that with each opportunity he could move closer to freedom, wealth, and security for himself and his siblings. By 25, Declan had saved enough to purchase a small trading ship. He began conducting small trade missions along the coast, bringing goods to port towns, buying low and selling higher. The first attempts were terrifyingly difficult. Storms destroyed cargo, crew members fell ill, and some rivals attempted to sabotage him. Hunger, exhaustion, and financial strain were constants. Yet Declan persisted, learning the art of negotiation, management, and risk. Each disaster was a lesson. Each setback became a foundation for growth. Over the next decade, his trading business flourished. Declan expanded his fleet, traveling further along the coasts of England, Scotland, and Ireland. He dealt with merchants, port authorities, and rival traders, learning to navigate not just the sea, but the complex world of commerce. By 35, Declan O'Connor was no longer the poor orphan who had scavenged along the docks. He was a respected captain, the successful trader, and a man who had earned the respect of his peers. Yet he never forgot the hardships of his youth. He returned to his village, providing opportunities for young orphans, teaching them skills, and giving them hope that the future could be different. He often told them, "The world will try to break you. Hunger, loss, fear, and failure are inevitable. But if you endure, if you learn, if you work with discipline and courage, you can rise above anything." Declan's story became legend along the coast. The boy who had faced hunger, cold, orphanhood, and despair had risen to wealth, respect, and freedom. His life was a testament to the power of resilience, courage, discipline, and vision. Every setback, every tear, every pang of hunger had been transformed into strength, skill, and opportunity. Declan O'Connor proved that no matter how harsh the beginnings, the human spirit could rise, triumph, and leave a legacy that outlived the individual. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories